bridge, the east bridge on the Tar River, and this is going to jump the river and go northeast. So maybe good news that we're not seeing what we saw when that tornado warning was additionally issued. Zooming out a little bit, we're not seeing that debris ball that you would get. Now, we are far away from radar sites, so that's also kind of some false hope, but hopefully we're not seeing a confirmed tornado. Notice the box is red, so that means this is radar indicated. If it was purple, if it was pink, that would mean we have a confirmed tornado on the ground, but at this moment, not really seeing reports of that. And Russell, if you could take me back over there, you can switch to the different velocity.
Yep. I'm going to go right back to the base velocity right here.
Is this base or is this storm relative?
This is base velocity.
Let's go to storm relative real quick.
All right.
There's a little bit better showing of where that rotation is. Again, kind of broad right there. Now it looks like north of 10th Street. This is going to be hopping the river, like I said, right there at that intersection stoplight. There's a gas station. That's kind of where it's headed to. So you turn right, you go to Washington. You turn left, you go back towards the House community, still kind of right there, borderline Greenville. If you go north, that's kind of the way you go to go north of the city up towards Bethel and kind of the bypass that goes around Greenville. So there's a lot of factories up here, the DMVs up here. That's where we continue to see the area of rotation. And this tornado warning goes for how long? Usually these are pretty shorter because they're not typically long-lasting areas of rotation.
Zach, on this is that rotation is not quite as tight as it was earlier. And in fact, this tornado warning remains in effect until 9 p.m. So
9 p.m. So it is 8:49. We've got about 11 minutes left, and let's go back to regular velocity, see if we get a better idea of what we're looking at. Can you turn the loop on so everyone at home can kind of see what we saw, what the National Weather Service saw right through there? So there's still a little bit of color. No, it's not. Usually you'd have your green and your reds. We don't have that necessarily here, but still could be some broad rotation on the leading edge of this storm. And again, no watch in effect at the moment, so you didn't miss anything. If you hadn't watched since the news earlier, we're getting ready to send another app alert out, and then I'm sure your phones went off, our phones went off here at the station as well, and this is going to continue to move to the northeast. Can you pan the camera or move the camera further to the northeast and kind of follow that area of rotation? So this is already past the loop or so, if you will, the loop around Greenville. This is going to be still in Pitt County. This is going to be north of New Belden. This is going to be headed up towards the highway there, and that's going to continue to move northeast. So Highway 30, if you live between Wichard and Dacno to Pactolus, that's where this area of rotation is headed to. Moving probably 50 miles per hour. That's about what things have been moving this evening. So, still 50 miles per hour. This is going to be headed up towards Highway 30. So if you live kind of in between the bypass, Highway 264, Highway 30, that's where we're watching right now. Can you zoom down a little bit further? Stop the animation. Yes. There we go. Old Creek Road, Ram's Horn Road. Back up to the north, we've got Frankie, Coburn Road as well. So zoom out a little bit for me. And then Richard Road. And so this area right here is where we're concerned about. This is past, this is moving quick. This is moving about highway speed, 50, 55 miles per hour. So it's not going to be long. Most of Greenville, zoom out real quick. Let's just make sure before I say everything's okay, the clear. Greenville, most of Greenville, if you're in the inner loop, if you're on the south side towards Ayden, towards Winterville, or in the west, north side, in your house, you're okay. This is now northeast, kind of northeastern portions of Pitt County. This is going to be headed towards, let's go upstream a little bit, and let's see what, past Highway 30. So this is, it's booking at 50, 55 miles per hour. It's not going to take its time to get to these areas. Let's go back to radar real quick.
All right.
So right here where this red is, there is a lot of heavy rain right in this area. No hail. I don't think hail's a big threat today. Maybe some pea-sized hail if storms are able to build up high enough. But right in here, this red area is where we're watching. Now, it is still raining very, very hard across Greenville, but this threat has now passed Greenville. This is now headed off to the northeast. So really that couplet tightened as it was moving overhead about the downtown, the campus area, and then as soon as they issued that tornado warning, it continued to move off to the northeast at about 55 miles per hour. So that's why it did not stick around very long. Let's go back to radar real quick, or velocity, excuse me. Yep. Still watching that little couplet right there. I know you usually when you watch severe weather coverage, there's greens, there's red, and you kind of see that spin a little bit better. So here are these strong winds right here, and these are going away from the radar site. and these are kind of wrapping in behind it. So you still have that spin, even though you don't have the green. Let's go to storm relative, see if that shows up a little bit better.
Yep.
A little bit better, yeah. There's the greens we're talking about, so there's that spin in the air. So let's go back down to street level and kind of show you where this is at currently. We should be getting a new radar scan. This tornado warning goes for another 8 minutes. So it's 8:52. This goes until 9 p.m. And let's make sure we've got these roads. So we've got Witchard Sherry Lane Road. We've got Old Creek Road right through there. If these names sound familiar, get in your tornado safe spot. If you're close to them, don't take a chance. Get in your tornado safe spot. Lowest interior room. So usually that's closet, a bathroom. Make sure you're not on the upper left. There's apartments or townhomes. If you can't go down to the next level, go make some friends, knock on some doors, and see if somebody will let you in for the next 5 minutes or so until this passes. And this is headed for Highway 30. So this white line is North Carolina Highway 30. You've got the tornado warning to the south and the border that surrounding this area. So go to debris.
Go to debris tracker.
Yeah, let's make sure we're not missing anything.
All right. See.
Let's go back up to where that couplet was.
All right, so it looks like they updated the tornado warning as well. So downtown Greenville is no longer under the tornado warning, but I do want to find that. Let's see here. Let's go back.
And so we're seeing all this maroon color. And so if you're just joining in, you're wondering what's going on. Usually when we have debris in the air, confirmed tornadoes, these colors turn a little bit darker blue, grayer blue. And so we're seeing all kind of purplish red color. That means it's all rain. So radar can sense the size of what's in the atmosphere, what it's detecting. So the good news is it's picking up rain. It's not picking up anything that shouldn't be in the air at the moment. So it looks like all of Greenville except, back up towards the north side along the bypass, not under this tornado warning anymore, but we are still seeing some very, very heavy rain. No lightning. That's the surprising part. Usually when we have storms, it's intense. We have a lot of thunder. We have a lot of lightning. We've not seen that today. So this is more of, a low energy, kind of high wind speed threat. So we've got a lot of wind energy above us. It does not take much instability this time of year to get severe weather. So this isn't a typical spring setup where we'd have all, hail, thunder, lightning, all of that. So let's go back to velocity.
Update from the National Weather Service as well, Zach. We do have that tornado warning continuing until 9 p.m. for Beaufort, Martin, and Pitt County.
Okay.
As of 8:53, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Stokes, or 9 miles to the northeast of Greenville, moving to the northeast at 50 miles per hour.
So let's switch to wind speed real quick. Let's check that couplet.
Right here.
Okay. So let's go back. Let's zoom back down into this tornado warning.
Right.
Let's pause the animation. Let's switch to winds. Let's switch to velocity. So this tornado warning is still going on for a few more minutes. The way it's moving, it's probably not going to clear this current tornado warning until we start to see this storm system out of here. 1 second, we're going to have to adjust something behind the scenes. So this continues to be a radar-indicated tornado warning. This is not confirmed, so we do not, as far as we know, have a tornado on the ground. So yeah, we're gonna stick with this. I know the tornado warning is supposed to be over by 9 o'clock, but I think this is gonna be with us a little bit longer. Yeah, that's still concerning. It's good that we're not getting debris signature, but we're still pretty far from the radar, so that doesn't mean really anything. So Carl Morris Road, over towards Briary Swamp Road, Tucker Bullock Road, Beargrass Road. So this is kind of goes northeast back up towards Highway 64. This is the area we're concerned. And so this is about to hit the edge of Pitt County. And then this is going to continue to move off to the northeast. So we're talking Martin and Beaufort County, kind of right there. This will not be in Beaufort County for long. It'll jump across and head into Martin County next. So Beargrass being your tornado safe spot. I think this will go south of you. It's gonna follow their 903. So if you're along North Carolina Highway 903, be in your tornado safe spot. This is gonna continue to move Cherry Run Road, Beargrass Road, all the way up towards Williamston. Williamston, you're not in a tornado warning right now unless you're on the south side, kind of right there where Highway 13, 17 come together. Beargrass Road also comes together there. You're under the tornado warning, but if they issue another one, Williamston, you're going to be in the next one. So you don't have to be in your tornado safe spot yet, but I would be very close to it just in case this continues to head your way. And so very, very heavy rain. Still seeing very heavy rain. Greenville, I know this. Your phones went off. The threat was not over us very long. This storm's moving very, very quick. But heavy, heavy rain and still not a lot of lightning. I know usually you could hear the lightning, the thunder first before the storm gets here. Not the case tonight. These are, once the heavy rain's there, the worst of the storms on top of you. So tornado warning likely going to continue. We are 2 minutes away from when this is supposed to expire. I don't see that happening the way radar looks. And it's going to be interesting because this tornado warning goes all the way up into the next few counties, and we're still tracking this in Pitt County. So I'm not sure if they're going to let this cancel or they may kind of double stack the tornado warnings on top of each other. But right there along Highway 903, you really want to be in a tornado safe spot. We should be getting a new radar scan even closer. Beargrass Road, Shepherd Mill Road in that area, Tucker Bullock Road. That's going to continue to move off to, there's that next scan. It's maybe falling apart a little bit, but still worthy of a tornado warning, and we'll likely see this warning continue. Let me check in with the National Weather Service, see what we're hearing from them. They continue the tornado warning. That was about 6 minutes ago. Radar indicated still for Pitt, Beaufort, Martin County. So this is going to move into Beaufort County next, and then into Martin County after that. And with this expiring at about a minute away, and we're still in Pitt County, I think they're going to issue a new warning on this. And there it goes. So we've just hit 9 o'clock. We will see what they do. Even if they don't issue a tornado warning, I think we may stick with this a few more minutes. I know I hate covering up programming. I don't like doing it, but when people's lives are in danger, we've got to do it. And this is the way we do it. So still watching this area of rotation right there along Beargrass Road. It's kind of right there where Beaufort, Pitt, and Martin counties kind of all come together. So that's where we're watching right now, and that's where we're going to continue to watch over the next few minutes. Another tornado warning has expired, but I'm not comfortable throwing it back to programming just yet. And so very, very heavy rain. Regardless, if you got that alert on your phone from the tornado warning or not, very, very heavy rain all over Pitt County. This is all moving from southwest to northeast, and this may cause a little bit of flash flooding as well. We got heavy rain on Sunday. We got heavy rain earlier today, and notice this line is not making headway. It's not pushing east very well. So we may start to pick up some very, very heavy rainfall over the Pitt County area. Now, Winterville, you're kind of right on the edge of it. Ayden, you're probably in some lighter rain. It's probably not too loud, but if you're in these oranges, these reds, you're noticing that it's pouring down outside, and this is going to continue to move off to the northeast. And so here's the squall line. It goes all the way from the top all the way down to the bottom. We still have some of these supercells occasionally crossing the Outer Banks. That was the first tornado warning for the Ocracoke area, the Hatteras area. Have not seen a new warning issued for that area. Then we had the tornado warning over Pitt County, and that has continued over the same area. So Russell, if you can zoom in, go back to winds, zoom back into northeastern Pitt County.
For where? This is for Dare and Hyde County until 9:30 p.m.
So I may have spoke too soon. That looks like that's going to be another tornado warning for almost the same area as we had, the same area that we had earlier. This was on the Outer Banks. So Ocracoke, Hatteras, both of you You'd be in your tornado safe spot. This was a storm that was off to the southwest that we were talking about earlier, and you know, we said there were more storms coming for the Outer Banks, and look, I get it. You know, people inland may be saying, okay, these places aren't very big. Well, every life matters. We're going to cover it the same way, and we're going to make sure that we are on top of it for our viewers. And once this gets past Ocracoke, if it weakens, you know, there's not much east of Ocracoke. Maybe we can throw it back to program if we don't have active warnings, but this is a new tornado warning. And Russell, can you give us the information on this one?
Yes, this is a tornado warning in effect for Dare and Hyde County until 9:30 p.m. Okay. As of 9:01 p.m., the severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Portsmouth Village, or 17 miles east of Cedar Island, moving northeast at 50 miles per hour.
So these storms are booking at 50, 55 miles per hour. Good news is they're not going to be around long, and we just heard the heavy rain increase. Now, okay, Russell, we've got this. This is going to be on the Atlantic side, still over open water, but about to head over the Ocracoke Island. Let's go back to Pitt County. I don't want to ignore that area that expired the tornado warning, but I want to go back over there and make sure that that things actually kind of died down. So Beargrass right over here. We're going to switch radar sites real quick. Let's go to storm relative velocity. There's still a little bit of a sign. Obviously, I guess they don't think that's worthy of a tornado warning. Still some broad rotation, and this could be pretty high up in the storm as well. So this isn't necessarily at the surface, but those same areas we were talking about, this is now crossing over. It's kind of hard to tell. Is that's Beaufort County, right? Or is that? Okay, so here's Beaufort County right here. I see the lines now. So this is going to be headed into Martin County towards Beargrass, Williamston. This is going to be getting pretty close to you. So we're still watching this closely. No active warning on it, but you know, with the active warning earlier, still some signs of broad rotation. We are going to continue to track this, and of course, Newsroom, they're getting damage reports. They're going to look into it. If we have damage or not in Pitt County from that storm. Nothing confirmed so far. If you know anything, power outages, anything, if you're watching this on Facebook, leave some comments. If you're watching this over the air, let's email us, send us a message on Facebook, let us know what you saw, what damage you have. If you have pictures, even better, send them to us so we kind of know what we're dealing with. So this is going to follow Cherry Run Road, pretty much right up through Beargrass and up towards deeper into Martin County. Everett's Road, over towards Harrison Road, Leggett Mill Road as well. So this is where some of that broad rotation is, that it's going to continue to move to the north towards Highway 13 and Highway 64 as well. So has the National Weather Service mentioned anything about this storm since they let that tornado warning expire?
Since that tornado warning has expired for Martin County, they hasn't said anything else about it. But okay. Yes, they still are sticking with the storm that's down in Dare and Hyde County. Okay. Still keeping that tornado warning going until 9:30. And
let's before you zoom back in.
Okay.
Let's go back to debris real quick. Okay, so let's go down south a little bit, south of the highway. So we're still seeing all the same color. That's great news. That's great news. We love to see that. Just some very, very heavy rain. So we're going to continue to watch out. Let's go back to the active tornado warning over the Outer Banks.
Okay.
From Hatteras down to Ocracoke. This is the second tornado warning of the night. Let's go back to velocity. See the winds.
Very
so this is going to be right over the south side of the island. So Ocracoke, really need to be in your tornado safe spot right now. It's the lowest level if you can. Interior room, away from walls. So basically you don't want to be in a room where that has windows or you're looking outside if that wall was to fall down. You want to have as many walls between you and the outside as possible for the Ocracoke area. This is going to continue to move up northeast of Highway 12. If you're in Pitt County, if you're in really a lot of our counties right now, you're hearing the rain. Still not a lot of thunder, lightning. I don't think I've heard one rumble of thunder since this storm started to push through, but we still are dealing with some very, very heavy rain and some pretty strong storms. So far, no reports of any damage, which is great news. We'll have to check in with the newsroom here in a little bit to see if they've got anything from the Greenville area when we had that tornado warning issued. No word from the tornado warnings earlier for the Outer Banks of any damage out there as well. So here's the area. Let's go to storm relative velocity. So yeah, it's probably a water spout just on the southeastern side, the Atlantic side of the island there. So this is going to bring some pretty strong winds into the Ocracoke area. Whether, you see the actual water spout or anything like that, it's kind of hard to tell where this is going to move to next, but you're definitely still going to get some very heavy rain, some very, very strong winds out on Ocracoke. And so this is going to continue to follow Highway 12. And then let's put some motion on this. There's really not there's not an upstream area to talk about where this is headed, because it should cross the island and head back into the sound. So, yeah, I mean, this is going to be very, very cool. Ocracoke, the last one skirted down to the south and then crossed further off to the east, but this one's right there over you. So, still not confirmed. This is radar indicated. If you see this little box right here turn pink or purple, that means that this is a confirmed tornado. So we're not to that level yet, but likely a water spout that's going to move on land and has the potential to do some wind damage if radar is as accurate as it looks.
And that rotation seems to be tightening. I mean, it's been very consistent here over the past several minutes. So, again, if you're along Ocracoke, along Highway 12 especially, you just definitely want to be in your safe place. You want to get to the lowest floor of a sturdy building and get into an interior room such as a closet in this situation. I mean, we've been seeing these storms just rotating on shore as we've been going throughout much of the evening here. And so it seems like this is continuing, at least for the next few minutes.
Yeah, and this is going to be right over Ocracoke. You said this one goes till 9:30?
Until 9:30.
9:30. So after Ocracoke, I don't think this is going to be an issue for Hatteras. I think this is going to go back into the sound, and then we'll have to watch further north, kind of on the mainland, the peninsula, between Swan Quarter up towards Stumpy Point, that area, for maybe this to come back on shore if it can, survive. The more north these storms have moved, the less they've looked severe. So hopefully that continues as this clears the Ocracoke area. Tornado warning remains in effect until 9:30. It is 9:09. I don't think we'll have that tornado around for that long. Once it gets back over open water, they'll probably cancel this tornado warning. Though hopefully, no damage being reported as it continues to move to the north. So let's go.
It seems like this storm, Zach, when it finishes moving past Ocracoke, it seems like it's just going to go right back over the Pamlico Sound here, and so it seems like that this system is definitely going to be moving very quickly off towards the north and east here over the next few minutes.
Yeah, it's heading northeast at the moment. Let's go back over to all the heavy rain we have over here. I do think the tornado threat is highest out on the Outer Banks. That's where the supercells have been spinning a little bit more. Greenville, more heavy rain. Would love to see how much rain we're picking up. It has to be at least an inch in the last hour, just based on rainfall rates. Let's go back up towards Williamston. Let's make sure we're not missing anything. No new tornado warning after the tornado warning for Pitt County. Those in Beaufort County also probably got an alert on their phone. And Martin County as well, you probably got an alert on your phone. So the good news is that's not looking as good as it did.
Definitely not.
So less concerned about Williamston. This is past Beargrass now. Maybe very, very weak rotation there. Still on Beargrass Road, headed up towards Highway 64, 13. The bypass there around Williamston, kind of where you curve off to go towards the Outer Banks. So we'll continue to watch that, but Williamston, I'm not quite as concerned. I would stay by your tornado safe spot just in case, but you do not have to be in your tornado safe spot right now. Still some very, very heavy rain moving through. So wouldn't be surprised if somebody gets a flash flood warning with this intense line of rain. Kinston, almost done for you. In fact, it hopefully is letting up a little bit there in downtown. Still pretty heavy there on the east side of town. And still some very, very heavy rain across the area as well, all the way down to North Topsail Beach. So Jacksonville, down to southern Onslow County, it's raining. It's probably loud a little bit, probably a little breezy, but that does not look severe. Strongest storms right now look from Kinston, Jones County, Lenore County, up into Pitt County, up towards Williamston, Windsor, and then even up to the Virginia state line. Those storms look like they're a little bit stronger, so we'll have to continue to watch that. Here's what we've got out on the Outer Banks. So very, very skinny area of land. That's why these tornado warnings look a little bit different than they would elsewhere. And right now, it's already past Ocracoke. So Ocracoke, if you still have power, if there was nothing there, you should be okay. Still a little bit of rotation out on the east side on Highway 12. then you can see, we've got more supercells lined up to the south. So not going to roll out a third or maybe even fourth tornado warning out there from Ocracoke to Hatteras with these storms kind of lined up the way they are. But eventually, that should be it. Then we'll get that one last kind of squall line pushing through, and that should clear out the air a little bit, and we should be done with the severe threat. But we've got to get this whole line of storms out of here and get this line of storms past the coast and past the Outer Banks before we can sound all clear. So Goldsboro, Wilson, Rocky Mountain, you're free of the severe weather threat. Kinston, you're almost there. This is just plain old rain. Back near I-40, back near I-95, that's just plain rain. So this main line of heavy rain, I can turn on the lightning, and I mean, there's none. I've not heard a single strike of lightning, and we've had some very, very heavy rain over the past 40 minutes here at the Greenville station. So that's pretty impressive to have storms like this and not have some heavy rain, or not have some loud thunder. Let's check this little out. It's a little curved. Just make sure I'm not missing anything. Maybe some weak rotation there, right over Highway 17, southeast of Vanceboro. So if you're just watching in that area and you're waiting for programming to come back on, your show, or whatever was on NBC, we will get back to that as soon as we can. But right now, we're still checking out a few of these storms, making sure we're not missing anything. It looks like they have shortened the tornado warning, so Ocracoke, this is past you, and it looks like this is now going to be back out over on the sound side. So that's still pretty impressive. If it was able to sustain itself, we probably did have something cross the island there, but definitely looked strongest as it moved on shore, and then looking pretty strong still on the sound side. So we will try to get in touch with some people now near Ocracoke, and let's see if we can have any damage in that area, or power outages at least, to kind of show us how strong the winds were. But let me make sure real quick. So this is headed back to the north. This is going to head back to the sound. So as long as we don't get another warning in the next minute, we should be able to throw it back to programming. Heavy, heavy rain from Maysville, Jacksonville, all the way up to Vanceboro. Heaviest of the rain kind of northeast of Kinston, headed up towards Greenville, Williamston. Really going to be impressed with how much rain Greenville got today. I would not be surprised. They probably got at least an inch earlier, and they've got an inch now. So we're looking at 2 to 3 inches of rain already so far. So let me go back out to a wide perspective. We will wrap this up and throw it back to programming. Hopefully not having any more warnings. The active tornado warning down near Ocracoke, that is past Ocracoke, that water spout is now back over the sound. Went from the Atlantic side to the sound side, kind of hopping the island. And here's that squall line that's been kind of organizing it from Kinston all the way up towards the state line of Virginia. That's where we're watching for maybe some strong winds still, and maybe the occasional tornado warnings. Tornado warnings still pretty low. We have not seen anything confirmed so far with the tornado warnings. We haven't really had any strong wind gusts that have shown up for severe thunderstorm warnings, but if we get another tornado warning, we'll be sure to jump back on, and we'll keep watching Hatteras. And if we need to get back on, then we will jump back on and make sure everybody stays safe. So we'll go back to regular programming, and we will jump back on as needed.